Wounded from the fight in the high passes, Elira Vines rode north through the snow, carried by a horse that refused to let her fall. She did not know where the road was taking her. She only knew she could not stop. I did not choose the town. The horse did. I had stopped asking it questions somewhere around the second day. Once I understood it would answer none of them, and that its silence was, in its own animal way, a kind of certainty I no longer had the strength to argue with. It walked north through snow that never fully stopped, carrying a passenger who was, by any honest measure, more burden than rider. I drifted in and out of the saddle the way a person drifts in and out of sleep on a road too long to finish in one sitting. The town appeared on the third morning, smoke rising thin and gray against a paler gray sky. I do not know its name even now. I did not ask. I have learned that some places do not need to be named to matter. This is my confession. I was too tired to be afraid of what waited there, and that frightened me more than the town itself. A woman at the gate saw me first, saw the blood dried black along my side, saw the horse's steady, patient walk, saw my hands wrapped loose and useless around the reins. He did not scream. She did not run for a blade. She simply looked at me the way you look at whether you cannot argue with, and called over her shoulder for someone to open the gate wider. They gave me a room above the smithy, small and warm from the forge below, the kind of heat that seeps up through floorboards rather than arriving through any fire of its own. I do not remember being carried there. I remember waking there, which is a different thing entirely. When the woman from the gate came to check on me, she brought broth and did not ask me to explain myself. She waited 3 days before she asked me anything at all, and when she finally did, it was not the question I expected. "Are you warm enough?" she asked. This is my confession. I did not know how to answer a question that gentle, so I said nothing for a long moment, and she did not push, and eventually I said yes, and it was, for once, true. The smith's name was Bren, broad through the shoulders in the way of a man who has spent 30 years bent over a forge. On the 5th day he climbed the narrow stairs himself and set my broken sword on the table beside my cot. "Trollkin steel does that," he said, nodding at the clean break near the hilt. "Snaps instead of bends. Your blade did what it was built to do. It just wasn't built for what you asked of it." I asked him how he knew it was Trollkin work that broke it. "Because I've reforged 3 blades this winter with the same break," he said. "You're not the first one who's come through here running from the high passes. Won't be the last either." By the 7th day I could stand without the room tilting. Bren reforged my blade without being asked and would not take payment for it. "You're not the one who owes," he said, testing the new blade's balance before passing it back to me, hilt first. 3 Trollkin attacks on farms south of here this season. You killed the one that's been doing it. I need you to tell me if there's more of them coming, because if there are, this town needs to know before the passes close for good. This is my confession. I did not have an answer for him, and I have spent every mile since leaving that town turning the question over, because I do not know if the Trollkin I killed in the snow was alone, or if it was only the first threat of something larger. I left on the 9th day, my side healed enough to bear the weight of riding. The woman from the gate walked with me as far as the wall. "Where will you go?" she asked, the same question I have been asked in some form in nearly every town I have ever left. I told her I did not know yet, only that I intended to follow the trail Bren had described, the attacks moving south along the mountain's edge, closer each time to towns that had no smith to reforge a broken blade and no elf willing to ride into the snow for them. I do not know yet what waits along that trail. I know only that a debt has found me again, the way debts always seem to, whether or not I have agreed to carry them. The road remembers everything. I am beginning to understand that I do too.